Hey members, Evan here. Really excited to show you the next 8 minutes of this video. It goes through a detailed description of our revised clubhouse master plan phase 2. As you know, we had the original master plan, got the feedback from the survey, the House Committee along with the board, along with different committees as well, took the feedback that you guys provided, and we were able to implement a new master plan for the clubhouse phase 2. So one thing with phase 2, it does call for a renovation of the interior of the clubhouse. You'll be able to see that here as the video progresses. One thing we'll need from you is membership approval. Per our Articles of Incorporation, we will have to go before the membership for approval on this. Look for more information on a town hall later this fall that will be able to debut the renderings and everything, all the designs that encompass phase 2. So again, it's about 8 minutes, but I really encourage you to stick with me. We jump around the club in a lot of different areas, then we talk about how we're funding this project, which is very important for you all to understand. So again, hope you enjoy the next 8 minutes. Hey members, Evan here. I'm back with another episode of Behind the Blueprint. It's been quite some time since we've done an episode on the Clubhouse Master Plan. We have some exciting news at the July board meeting. The club approved phase 2 of the revised Clubhouse Master Plan. So this is going to be a little bit longer of a video, but I encourage you to stick with me. We're going to go through a lot of different areas of the clubhouse. So a lot went into the revised Clubhouse Master Plan, and the main thing that the board and the different committees looked at was the survey results. We took a survey late last fall. We got those results. We sent out the executive summary over the winter. The board was really able to do a deep dive into those results, and then number one thing that came back from what the members wanted, what you wanted, was a clubhouse refresh. So what does that mean? So the House Committee along with the board identified that as an interior refresh. That's carpet, that's paint, that's finishings, that's light fixtures. First stop will be the greens. Let's head over there. We're here in the Greens Bar. Many of you have been in here for a banquet, a club event, maybe a baby shower, whatever it may be. So part of phase 2 of the Clubhouse Master Plan is a refresh of the entire banquet space to include the Greens Bar area. So what we've identified with the survey results is that the members want an adult-only casual dining area. We've come to find with our growing membership that the sports bar just can't quite handle all the members we have, and we want to make sure that there's an area for families to go and there's an area for adults to go. So that's what this area is going to become. The Greens Bar will become an adult-only casual dining area. A lot of steps we got to go through to get there, but the board did approve this to become an adult-only casual dining area. So what are those steps that we have to go through? Well, we have to figure out the design. So the House Committee, along with the board, have been working very hard with an architectural firm that we've engaged early in this process to come up with some different options for what this area is going to look like. Nothing's final yet, but we are receiving bids as we speak. The House Committee will look at those bids here in the next 2 to 3 weeks, put them before a recommendation before the board, and move out with plans to renovate this room as well as the banquet space, which will slide into there next. Okay, the next stop on our tour of the clubhouse refresh is the banquet space. We're fortunate to have a beautiful banquet space, a beautiful view. You see the golf course, the pool. That's really what sells this space for outside events and member events. So this area does need updated. I'm sure everybody would agree. It's definitely outdated. So we're fortunate to in addition to the greens adult-only dining room, this area will be completed with a refresh. Again, designs are not final. We're going through the phases of that right now, but we're excited to have this room really be modernized. I think it's going to go a long way with the ability to track events as well as host member events, so we're real excited. We've got a few more stops to go. We're in the kitchen. Chef David and his team have done an outstanding job all year preparing high-quality food in a timely manner. We're really fortunate to have David's leadership as he leads our culinary team. So when you're talking about adding an existing dining room, or new dining room I should say, we're going to need more kitchen space. Right now we struggle as it is just with the sports bar and the 2 patios and banquets. What we're going to do this winter to be able to service both the new adult-only area and the sports bar and banquets, we're going to add some equipment in here, add a hood. That'll help Chef be able to have 2 lines to service both the new restaurant and the sports bar. So again, this work will be completed over the winter in January. Okay members, our next stop is the Lower Cart Barn. Many of you have probably met Sarah Bidney. She joined our team earlier this golf season, and she has just been exceptional for us, from her Op 36 programming to her junior programming to all the lessons she's given. We're really fortunate to have Sarah on our team along with the rest of the golf staff. So with what we're looking at down here, 2 hitting bays, one that will have a TrackMan simulator, which we have on hand now, and then another bay that will just be an area to hit balls. Talking this area right here. So there's 10 carts that face directly out to the west. So these carts will be relocated to a different area down in the lower green barn, and we'll be able to set up 2 bays that Sarah will be able to teach down here. Members will be able to hit whatever you'd like to do down here. So fortunate to have a temporary space. We do have plans, the revised master plan, which phase 2 has been approved by the board. 3, 4, and 5 have not yet been approved. They're still in the discussion phase, but it does call for a permanent learning facility to be built down where the green shed is. So again, those phases are under review by the board, but there are plans, potential plans for a permanent learning facility. Okay, members, wrapping things up, we're going to talk about how we fund all this. So first I want to touch on capital. What is capital? So we have 2 forms of capital. We have operational capital and investment capital. And what are those 2 exactly? So an example of operational capital, we're down here at the pool. We just finished our last phase of the pool furniture update. That's an example of operational capital. Another example, earlier this spring, the HVAC went out in the golf shop. We had to replace that. That's all in operational capital, as well as you see all the golf course equipment on the golf course. Those come out of leases, and those are all operational capital. Investment capital, what's investment capital? Well, investment capital is everything we just talked about up in the clubhouse, down in the cart barn, in the kitchen, as well as, an example of investment capital that you've seen on the golf course. We put in the 3 new bunkers out on 5, 16, and 17. So those are all investment capital. So how do we fund those 2 capital forms? So capital dollars, both operational and investment, are funded by 3 different buckets. This is what we identified during the REAP initiative. Larry Sidwell and the Fiscal Sustainability Committee really did a deep dive into how do we fund things? How do we pay as we go? Which is something that the board has initiated with the REAP initiative. So jumping back to operational capital, that bucket is funded out of your monthly capital dues you pay every month on your statement, as well as initiation fee. Then you transfer over into the investment capital. So that's funded by net profits the club receives. We've been fortunate to run an efficient operation with nearly full membership the last couple of years to give us the net profits to invest back in the club. The third bucket is funded by land sale proceeds, which we just closed on the land sale, as well as any assessments. We did an assessment a few years ago to complete some necessary projects in the clubhouse as well as the golf shop. So one thing I want to point out, and it's really important, and it's really been set up by the club leadership, Larry Sidwell, the Fiscal Sustainability, the board. So all these projects we talked about in phase 2, there'll be no extra cost to the membership. They'll all be funded out of that investment capital bucket. So that's really important. We're really excited. Look for more information. Look for a podcast in the coming weeks where we do a little bit of a deeper dive into what it's going to look like inside in the clubhouse. So again, thanks for your patience. I know I've been jumping around here a lot of different areas of the club, but we're excited to implement phase 2 of the Clubhouse Master Plan here later this year and this winter.